What is up, people? Welcome to this new Football Manager 21 series. This series is going to be with West Ham United, and all the transfers are updated. We got updated transfers, updated teams, the relegated, promoted teams, they're all up to date. And this series is going to be a little bit unique. What we're going to do is add a little bit of FIFA into Football Manager. And by this, I mean we're going to add gameplay of FIFA alongside Football Manager, i.e. in games. I'm really looking forward to this series, and I hope anyone who does see this, I hope you enjoy it too. We're going to try and keep this as realistic as possible. Obviously, West Ham this year, we got the Europa League football, so we got that to contend with. We're going to try and keep signings realistic. Obviously, Messi's now a free agent in this game. We're not going to go out signing Messi. We're going to try and keep it realistic as we can. Realistically, we're just going to see how long we can go for. We're not going to do like we're going to jump from team to team. We're going to stick with West Ham, obviously, unless things go really bad and we do have a really bad run and we get fired or sacked or something along that line. But for the most part, we're going to try and stick out as long as we can with West Ham. Get them into the Champions League. Get them fighting for the league, fighting for the Champions League title. Yeah, this should be really fun. I think at first glance, this will be something what our team will look like. Running the 4-2-3-1, which is more or less what West Ham play in real life. We sometimes do switch to a back 3/back 5 with wing backs, but for the most part, this is what we run. And before we make any transfers or anything, this is what we'll be running. Straight back 4, Cresswell, Agbona, Diop, Kufau, Alphonse Areola, recently signed in real life on loan. I believe there's an obligation to buy in that. Rice and Soucek, two excellent holding midfielders. That's going to change, hopefully. That's going to remain the same for a long time, hopefully. Benrahma, Fornals, and Jared Bowen as the attacking front three, and Michail Antonio up top. So yeah, with Europa League football this season, the squad depth is non-existent. We got a couple good young players, Connor Coventry, Ben Johnson. That's really it. We got Adubeko, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, in the under-21 team, but he's probably not ready for that step yet, whereas Coventry, Ben Johnson, maybe they can get a little bit of first-team action. Ben Johnson, very good. He can play both right and left back. He's going to be very useful for this save. And for the future, definitely going forward. But transfers are a must. Squad depth is non-existent. We've got a lot of games to play. Realistically, we need another striker. We need a better striker than Michail Antonio. Maybe another attacking player in form of to replace either Bowen or Benrahma. I think in real life, Benrahma is a quality player. I think he just needs a little bit of unlocking in this game. Maybe just to bring him in a little, get him a little better off the bench before we make him start games make him start games consecutively and consistently. Paulo Fornals and Cam, yeah, that's gonna stay for a while, hopefully. And yeah, so we definitely need at least one centre back, potentially even two. Right back, I think Vladimir Kufau we're okay with. We can stick with him for a season or so. Maybe a new left back. We have Cresswell. We do also have Arthur Masuaku at left back, but I think maybe left back somewhere we're going to look to improve on as well. The thing about Masuaku, he's good going forward. He can definitely bring a little bit of pace. He can play up on the wing as well as left back, but I think it's definitely somewhere we do need to progress. We do have Lingard on loan. I need to send him back to United. Maybe we could pursue him again, but I do just need to change that quickly. More in depth, 3 backup keepers. Do we need 3 backup keepers? We don't. Fabianski, I think, will be good enough for number 2. I think Randolph, we can definitely look to move on. Lanzini, yeah, I love him in real life. Maybe he can play a role off the bench, but we'll have to see. He might not be up to standard. Frederick's backup right back, I think it's fine with Johnson. Realistically, maybe there's not a place for Frederick. Might look to move him out. Connor Coventry, I think potentially we'll look to get him out on loan for this season. Maybe look to play him in a couple League Cup games, maybe a couple Europa League games. We'll have to see. Already talked about Ben Johnson, both left back and right back, very versatile in defence. He's going to be a big part in the rotation, I think. Xande Silva, someone we're definitely going to look to move on. 23 years of age. Yeah, not good enough for this level. Yarmolenko, very torn. I think we might give him some time. We might give him till January, potentially. We'll have to see. Any offers, though, I think we're definitely going to have to look at accepting them. Masuaku we've already gone over, and Craig Dawson. I think Dawson's good enough to be backup centre back. Diop we might try and loan, just to get him regular first team football this year. We'll have to see. I think Ogbonna, however, real life he's he's solid as a rock. We'll have to see what we do with him in this. I think he could start, hopefully, alongside a new signing. Anyway, I'm going to go and make a short list of players. I'll be right back with you then. So I've gone and made a little bit of a short list of players we're going to be maybe not as actively pursuing, but players we're going to have an interest in that can definitely improve us or just add a little bit of depth. I think our main targets are definitely 100% a striker, 100% a centre-back. I think those are our two main targets. I do have a couple of targets for those positions. Big centre-back player who I think we're going to make a priority, who you'll see soon. Striker, definitely need, however, I think that could be a little tough for just some various reasons. Okay, going into the shortlist, this is who we have on it. It's kind of long, we've got a fair amount of players on there, so let's just go through one by one who we have. Fides Paslak, a little bit of a utility player, can play all down the right, all down the left. He would be available pretty cheap as well. He's definitely someone who we can definitely look to pick up. He'll be kind of cheap, someone to look out for. Now this is the big one I really want to pursue, and I think will be one of our main targets this window. It's the same in real life with West Ham. Very interested in Nikola Milenkovic, centre-back Fiorentina and Serbian. I think really gonna be our main centre-back target. 2 years left on his contract. In real life he only has 1 year. Obviously we're still in 2020 in the game, but we have the database of 2021-2022 season and the leagues of that as well. Milenkovic realistically gonna be our top target. Another target we're gonna have is Kurt Zouma. However, I think this one's gonna be a little bit out of our range. I think in this game Chelsea not really gonna be willing to part, and if they are, might be a hefty fee. One I don't think we're gonna be wanting to spend on just one position. Elias Corbau, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. He has, he's got a broken ankle right now. He's out for 7 months, so it's not ideal if someone we do want to go after. Young Belgian at Anderlecht, someone we could look at potentially. We'll have to see how the scouting pans out. Another real-life West Ham target, Kaleta Carr. I think if Milenkovic doesn't work out, I think this could definitely be someone we're interested in for sure. Ozan Kabak, centre-back, Turkish centre-back from Schalke, spent last season at Liverpool. I think a target maybe as depth. I don't think he'll be able to make the step up to start for us, but definitely someone we can look at. Kwanzebe, interesting one. Not entirely sure. I think it's going to be the same as Zouma. Going to be a bit of a big fee for what we're trying to bring in. Maybe a loan option, definitely, but at the minute, he's one of the options. Recently relegated Sheffield United. This one I'm very keen on potentially doing. Jack O'Connell, centre-back from Sheffield. I think good qualities and someone who can really fit in with us. I think he's going to be one of our big options outside of Milenkovic. Maybe we can bring both of them in, who knows, but definitely a big target for us. Yannick Vestergaard, another backup option for Milenkovic as well. At Southampton, I think it'll be a good option. I think he's someone who's a little underrated in real life. Maybe a little underrated in this game, I'm not entirely sure, but I think definitely someone could add a little bit to us for sure. He's definitely an upgrade on what we have, so it's definitely someone to look out for. David Luiz, free agent. I think we're interested, but I think he's going to want a huge wage here. I don't know if we're willing for that. We'll see about him. We might offer him a trial, potentially see what happens. But moving on, Matteo Mori from Borussia Dortmund. It's a bit of a younger player. I think maybe just as a backup right back. To Kufau, maybe to Johnson as well. Someone as an option. Adam Smith, Bournemouth player, can play both full-back positions. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be someone we'll look at. It's just someone on the short list. As well as Marius Wolf. Hussein was someone potentially to go up this right side. This could be a big player who could do that. Never mind, he's not going to be a big player who can do that. Recently moved, someone potentially for next year we can look at. Lewis Cook, another player at Bournemouth, 23 years old, English. Another player, I think, 75 appearances for Bournemouth, 80 for Leeds, 23 years old, 155 games already. As a centre mid option, I think he could be a really good one to potentially look at some depth. This is going to be a signing we'll definitely try and pursue. After this, we're going to go through him a lot quicker. Mohamed Dahoud recently signed a new deal with Dortmund, so I'm probably not willing to move. But I think someone for next year we can really look at potentially going for. I think it would be a big improvement to what we have. We're just going to go through a little quicker now. Christian Norgard of Brentford, another centre mid. Potentially someone we can, again, another backup. Will he get in a team over Soucek and Rice? Definitely not. But this is someone who could. Probably, maybe not. But Sander Berge, again, recently relegated with Sheffield. I think he could be a good player. He's a good player in real life. Kind of surprised he went to Sheffield in the first place. 14 appearances last season. I think he's all round just a good player, good solid midfield option. Definitely someone we can look at. So moving through, Lingard, I don't think, but someone we might go for. But we'd have to spend around 20 million on Lingard in a position it's not, we don't really need. Bissouma from Brighton. I would love to make the signing. I think it's going to be hard. I think Brighton really wouldn't want to part with him. Yeah, they would want a lot. Pretty much all of our budget. And I don't really think it's worth putting into a position that's not too key. Yari Verschiren, not sure how you pronounce it. In real life, a very highly touted young player. 42 appearances for Anderlecht, 42 appearances overall in his career at 19 years of age. It's pretty good. I think, again, someone who can play in that cam role, and I guess we do sort of need a backup in that role. I think someone who we can definitely look at, picking up. And as we move on, James Forrest of Celtic, I think this one probably not going to happen, just as there is an option on the shortlist. Jacob Brun-Larsen, another Dortmund player. At least I think he's a Dortmund. Oh, he's on Hoffenheim. No, he left Dortmund. Apologies. I think someone, obviously right now, on loan. So next year, potential option, but at the minute, yeah, definitely not. Dwight McNeil from Burnley. I think this one would be a good sign-in. You can only more favourable on the left, however, and we're definitely looking for a right-sided player. But an option nonetheless. Okay, we move into strikers, which is one of our big roles that we're trying to upgrade on Mikel Antonio. Lys Mousset, being honest, real life, he's not that good. In this game, I found, in previous saves I've done, he's a good player in Football Manager. And for that reason, I think definitely he's someone we can look at going for. Will he be our main target? I'm not entirely sure, as you'll find out. Striker, it was hard to find good strikers to potentially look at. So, who knows, maybe Mousset will be someone we do go after. It wouldn't be a little expensive, however, so we'll have to see. Bakambu, someone I would really like to buy, but I think he would cost a lot. Yeah, around 35 million, and I mean he's on 375k a week. I think that just kind of puts it out of our range massively. And another Sheffield United player. We're looking at a lot of Sheffield United players. I think they've got some good players. Obviously went down, so they could be a little cheap. Ollie McBurney, I think he's someone we're interested. I'd be interested in, maybe not as a main striker option. I think maybe as a backup potentially. We can definitely look at. How much would he be? Yeah, around 17 million. Definitely could look at him. 17 million wouldn't be too bad. Adam Armstrong. He's a very good player from the Championship with Blackburn. Had a really good season in real life. Quick, very quick, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely convinced about him as in this save. So we'll have to see. Well, Josh Sargent, this one's interesting. In real life, I believe he's close to joining Norwich. But as of recording this, which is the 7th of August, he hasn't joined them officially. So he's someone we're definitely holding interest in potentially bringing to the London Stadium as a backup. He definitely wouldn't be a starter. But I think he'd be someone who's available for relatively cheap. Potentially, not definitely. So I think he's someone we can look at. Moving up, Dominic Solanke. If anyone in real life knows, yeah, not very good. But as a backup, I wouldn't say no. Let's just put it that way. I would not say no as a backup option. I'm not entirely sure how much they'll be willing to sell him for. But as a backup, we can definitely think about it. We'll just put it that way. Moving on into our last two, Tammy Abraham. I think a little bit like Kazuma. I don't think Chelsea can be willing to part with him, and even if they are, it would not be cheap. So, I don't think this one is gonna happen. He won't want to join us anyway, so that's that completely out the window. And the final one, Odsonne Edouard from Celtic. This one's interesting. I think Edouard is going to be the one we look to go for the most. He's all round just good. He's all round good, and I think he'll be very solid. He's an upgrade on Antonio. Good finishing. I think he would be perfect in our setup, and I think he's going to be the one we mainly pursue as a striker. Right, going back, we've hit a little bit of a roadblock. I'm going through, and yeah, a lot I don't want to join, including our big prospect in Milenkovic, or our biggest who we want to sign in Nikola Milenkovic. That's a little bit of an issue, because he was by far who we wanted to pursue most as a centre-back, and he doesn't want to join. So, yeah, it's a little bit of an issue. We'll see if we can convince him to join. I think we'll declare interest in probably as a top target, to be honest, because he will be our top target. Maybe we can maybe we can convince him to join. Let's hope, because yeah, we definitely want him. Again, also another one who doesn't want to join is Paslak. Yeah, he was someone I wanted to bring in as well. So that's a little bit of pain. Zuma, I think we already knew wouldn't happen. Kaleta Carr, he does want to join. This is the price, so we'll look through. So looking through, we've hit a lot of stumbling blocks. Edouard, I think he's going to be tough to bring. With Chelsea interested over in Champions League football, I think it's going to be tough, which is a hit. I think our two main people we want to join have very little interest. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But let's move on. We'll go forward a bit and let's see what happens. So while we're here, we'll just look at our goals really for this year. Top half of Premier League should be due. 5th round in the FA Cup as well should do. Reach the knockouts in the Europa League. Hoping that's can do. Obviously, a lot depends on our draw, and the Carabao Cup isn't too big of a deal. However, in terms of signings, high reputation players under 22. I think that's a lot of what we're going for anyway, so that's not too bad. A bit in the future, Fornals to pick up a little bit of an injury, probably leave him out for a week. Both of these have been rejected as inquiries. Wasn't really too much of a shock. But our first transfer offer, and it's for Ryan Frederick, someone I did say we could definitely look at moving on. And I think the fee's fairly reasonable. We'll just see if we can bump it up to 6 million because of my OCD. Fredericks looks like he could be the first outgoing. Someone I think we could look to replace, but I think he would have been very much surplus to requirements. I was just looking as well, and for some reason, the season doesn't start till the 12th of September, which is kind of weird. And I am trying to get a lot of my deals done early. Speaking of deals done early, Yannick Vestergaard, Southampton did come back as this from our inquiry. 20 million cash plus Masuaku. Masuaku is someone we are definitely looking to move on. So this is an interesting one to definitely keep an eye on. Right, so this is a deal we're going to really try and wrap up as soon as possible. We need to get an offer in ASAP. And we're going to offer straight up 20 million for Edouard. Just a sweeten deal, I guess we'll add a little bit of a sell-on fee in terms of profit. And yeah, Bissouma I already said. probably not going to happen, and yeah, Basuma definitely not happening. Right, so we have a fair amount of transfer offers for Xande Silva. We did offer him out because I think he's the player we most want to let go, because he just, yeah, it's just gonna, we don't need him, to be perfectly honest. We're just gonna accept all. The fee, I think everything's fine. We'll just move on with that. We have a couple offers in for a few players at the minute. Nothing too close. We have our first friendly in a few days, so I think we do need to speed up a little bit. Matteo Mori, one of the players we did have an offer in, as well as Edouard, who I think we can get this down to a reasonable fee. I think we can look around 22 million, and then Mori as well. I think we can look to get this down to a little bit of a reasonable fee. But yeah, at the minute, not much is going on. We're just waiting. We have an offer in for Elias Kubo, whatever his name is. Milenkovic, we do have an offer in as well. Fiorentina is stalling it, which probably is best for us, because we want him, and we need to scout him, and we need to try and convince him more to join. Right, so a little bit of activity on the transfer front. Jack O'Connell has been accepted, quite a hefty fee, and one not too convinced about paying that much for, but it is an accepted offer, and Elias Kubo has also been accepted. So we'll go in, we'll get contract negotiations done, and we'll move on, potentially sign one of those today. One interesting dilemma we do have is this Vestergaard deal. We're going to have to look to move on with. And 17, around 20 million. Plus Masuaku will make the offer, We'll see what happens. Lingard, yeah, no way. And we'll see what happened. We had virtually everyone come back. Pretty much all were pretty useless. None of them really came back with too good. Kaleta Carr definitely, we'll probably maybe look in the future if no one else happens, but Bakambu also, yeah, no way. So, two things. Mori, we sent another offer and they did reject our first one. I think it was, 3.8 million and a little bit of a sell-on fee. We got one player on a loan list, that's literally it. But this is a big one. Lys Mousset, we've had an offer accepted. And I'm very, very torn on this one, because I think he would be a really good signing for us. That's actually a very reasonable contract. But I think this would be a very good signing for us, but at the same time, I don't know if he's that player we're looking for. It's going to be tough. We have a friendly in a couple of days. I think we'll stop the episode just before, probably have 2 up a day, or maybe daily. We'll have to see. However, I think we'll see how many happens daily. I'm not entirely sure, but I think the first window will probably be filmed all in advance. So in the off chance anyone actually watches this and you have any transfer suggestions, do let me know. We can potentially pursue them in January. So this is definitely annoying. Fiorentina did accept our offer for Milenkovic, but he still doesn't have enough interest in joining. We'll accept that. Harrison Ashby on loan, yeah, you can have that as well. That is a pain, but this is a little bit of an upside. Odsonne Edouard, definitely still negotiating. We're close as well with Celtic. I think we can get there very soon. We'll offer around that. He's another player I don't want to get my hopes up. He's someone we can bring in and then just it never materializes eventually. But yeah, Felix Passlack, maybe someone we can bring in on loan. I don't think we can. Yeah, he's unavailable on loan. That's a little bit of annoying, but hopefully we have some good news on the Edouard front. So Solanke, they wouldn't even accept 10 million, so that's definitely off the table. Him coming to the London Stadium, that's not too big of a deal. I think this friendly against Glen, never heard of them. I think we'll just let the assistant take that maybe. I don't think we're too interested in that. I think we have a good idea of our squad. I think in terms of youth players as well, we've not got too many coming through. We'll take a look at that in a second. We also do have a director of football coming in, which I guess that could be a little bit useful. Yeah, going into the under 23s, quick look. Odobeko is the biggest prospect, I think. I keep saying prospect, biggest young player. Thierry Neves as well. In real life, good player. Very keen to see how that plans out. Where is he? There is another player, unless he's in the under 18 centre back. He must be in the under 18s. Jamal Baptiste, yes. Honestly, I have big plans. I'm really keen. Just 16 years old. I think he's going to be an absolute star player, and I think he's going to get game time as well this year in the League Cup. Maybe start 2 in the FA Cup, but he's going to get game time, and he's someone I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how he progresses through the save. It's been a few days, but we do finally have a couple of news on the transfer front. The first one being Matteo Mori. Finally, it actually took a little bit longer than I really wanted. We finally got a transfer offer, except for him we're going to contract. And this one, I was a little surprised about. Nabil Bentaleb is available on a free. He's not the best player, but we'll take him on trial. We'll see how he is. And I think someone, maybe as a backup option, we can look at a little bit further. I am also looking at Morley here, and I don't know if really want to pay him this much when we don't know if he's going to play too much. Yeah, I mean, his stats aren't bad, but it's a shame. I think he was someone I was definitely interested in, but I don't think it's going to be possible. We also, like I said, we'll take part in some of the friendlies, but definitely not all of them. This one we just gave to the assistant to handle. Kufau somehow got on the score sheet. Silva did as well. That's a parting gift if I've ever seen one. So, potential first signing. Jack O'Connell, we have everything agreed with him between the clubs and the player. I'm still very unsure. I think it's a transfer with delay. We'll look in a week, see what's happening. I think he could be an option, but at the minute, we'll just see if there's any better options. Not long after our first signing will be made, Elias Kubo, whatever, I'm never going to say his name right. We're going to sign him for around 5.5 million. He's got a broken ankle right now, so you won't see him for a while. But I think when he's done, he can be a good player for us. Whether probably he'll start as a squad player, but I think that's a good signing. We don't have a friendly for 14 days. We'll see if we can get one in the middle, however, because that's a little bit of a wait. We're not gonna sign Elias Gabo because his medical fucked up. Great. Rightio. We'll look at that in the future. We haven't made our first sign-in. That's a bit of a pain in the ass. We could still make our first sign-in. He's obviously more interested elsewhere. We'll have a look through this scout report, but this is big. That's fine. Hopefully he's not going to want 100. No, he doesn't. That isn't bad. We can definitely negotiate around this. All of this isn't too bad, actually. This is kind of reasonable. Yeah, this is actually kind of reasonable if you can get him to... Yeah, that's a very reasonable contract. Hopefully, we can get that over the line and we can beat Chelsea and Arsenal to it, because that'll be a really big signing for us. I think he can lead the line perfect and really bring good things to this club. Right, so we did a little bit more digging around for transfers. You will see a little bit of a pattern. We did go through Bayer Leverkusen. For one, this Florian Wirtz deal, I knew it would never happen. I was just curious if they would be open to a loan deal, but they're not, so that's not an issue. But these two, they are potential 2 deals we could make. Lucas Alario, striker, Argentinian. Maybe could be a backup to Edouard, backup transfer option if Edouard does fall through. But this one I am interested in. Daily Sinks Graven. I think he can play in mid, he can play left back. I think it would be a good option potentially to have either off the bench or just as in backup. I think we can get him for a reasonable price as well. We'll look at something like this, maybe around 10 mil with a little bit of a sell-on fee. This is another one. This is someone, however, I do want to pursue is Restos. I don't think they'll be too open to him leaving, but We'll see if we can maybe prime away. These are the last three, I believe, who we've looked at. Demirbay, we did just submit like a 20 mil offer. It will never be accepted, but yeah. Nadim Amiri, 23-year-old German. I want him. I really do. He's not going to be the line. But they want a lot for him. And I don't know if I want to pay that much for him. Bellarabi also, he's 30, which I know we're trying to pry away from. But this still wouldn't be the worst if we could get him. Maybe not for what they want, but definitely if we can get that a little lower, we can. But I do want a Miri. We'll have to see if we can get him for any cheaper. We'll add sell-on fees, maybe a little couple installments, but we'll see what happens. Right, couple of updates. Fredericks is gone. Villa also want to sign Johnson. That's never happening. He is staying a West Ham player. In terms of friendlies, we do need just to quickly arrange one for now. Actually, I think... Never mind, yeah. We'll just get one done quickly. It doesn't really matter who. Porto's B team, yeah, sure, sounds good. We'll get a friendly done with them. This episode will end very soon, and I would love... Okay, that did. Love to, hopefully get at least one signing in this window. Oh, in this episode, sorry. So in an interesting development, Leverkusen did accept this offer. But, yeah. I wasn't expecting that, but definitely a no on that front. We're going back in for Solanke, and this might seem a little weird, but all the scouting reports came back on the players we were interested in. Also, Milenkovic is now extremely doubtful. It's a little better than the none he had before. But Solanke, he still does have potential, and you know, I think we get him for the right price. I think it could be worth potentially having him as a backup on the bench, just if needs be. I just don't think Bournemouth want to part with him. I really don't blame them. I think he would be a very good championship player for them. We'll see. Let's leave it at that. We'll part with centre-backs rejecting us, like Milenkovic. Jonathan Tah, also not interested, which will complicate things a little because I think really we're going to be stuck between Vestergaard and Jack O'Connell. We could definitely look to get both of them, if I'm being honest. Vestergaard and O'Connell side by side at centre back. Maybe move Ogbonna to the bench. Look to loan Diop. I'm not sure. We'll have to figure it out. Yes, this was one. What the fuck is wrong with you, Bournemouth? But yeah, this was one I'm very, very keen on. Christian Pavon. Yeah, we can get him for a pretty cheap. Around 10 million if they sign a fucking player, which most of the time they don't. Yeah, no. Yeah, hopefully Chelsea are okay. This probably won't happen. I've gone completely silent because I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, this would be that right winger we want. And he'll be a right winger hopefully for a little bit. That's a low release clause. Oh shit, but he definitely wants that. It's something we can live with. He's a very quick, very talented, skillful Argentinian winger. Him for now is Benrahma. Or Benrahma. Anyway, there's a lot of combinations we can have as that attacking three behind the striker. And I think Pavon would be instrumental in that. I think what we are going to do, however, is end this episode before the Porto game. I have a little bit of an issue with this game, where I play the game in long sit-ins, and this isn't good. Oh shit, that's very bad. We've lost Antonio for a while, our only striker. I still haven't gone through these. Yeah, I haven't gone through these yet. I still definitely need to go through these, because now, especially we're down to one striker, if Edouard even signs, we really need to look at bring someone in. Well, I am going through this, and this is someone as a potential option. Nikola Milenkovic, Nikola Maximovic. He's a free agent. He was at Napoli last year. I think we'll offer him a trial. I think maybe this is a backup option to the millions of options we already have. But I think it's someone. Nah, we're not gonna look at that. I think it's someone to keep an eye on. Me. I think. I have no clue who this is. Is this a? Oh, it's like, he plays in Qatar. I think maybe this could be someone who. I'm a little bit torn. I think he's someone who could help us. Maybe not as a starter, but I think he's someone who could still help us. I don't think we could loan him. I don't think the club will let him leave on loan. But I think he's someone we can look to bring in. Right. One day later, Xande Silva's gone. That's not an issue. But Maximovic has gone to Spurs. I didn't see that one coming. That's a little bit of a bummer. I was hoping that maybe. I think he actually could have been better than I thought for him. I think he could have been someone who could start for us, but that's an option not on the table anymore. Right. Now this is a big one. Let me just make sure I'm recording. Yeah, I am. Amiri has. Well, we've had an offer accepted, and I'm kind of torn. I really do want to sign him. But oh wait, what the fuck has happened here? I am not sure, but he wants a lot, and I don't know if I want to give him to it. I'm very torn. I want to bring him in. I do. But he, like I said, he wants a lot. I don't know if we can offer him this. But I think we're going to have to. I think I'm really keen on him. I think he can do really good in our team. They want a release clause. I don't want a release clause. If you want a release clause, at least up it to that. Right, that's a hell of an offer. Right, things are happening. Lys Mousset we can bring in. I know this is a sign-in that isn't gonna set the world alight, and I'm very aware of that, but I think he can do good for us. 18 mil. And we still need to bring in a centre back. Oh, money's gonna be tight. But, man, I'm so conflicted. I think we'll push it back another week and we'll just weigh up our options. If Edouard signs, him, Antonio and Mousset as the three striker options, with Antonio also being able to play out wide. I think I'm good with that. I think those three are very good. Also Brahimi, we can get, I believe, for basically the same price as we already offered. There's been very, he's gonna cost a lot. We're gonna be down to about 20 million left. Ah, man. I don't know if I am going to buy the bullet. We're going to push it back another week. I think there could be better options out there for the price. However, just a day later, our first signing will be confirmed. I'm going to do it. Nadim Amiri, up to 20 million. I think it's done. Yeah. No, I'm happy with this deal. I think he's going to be a good player for us, for sure. It's going to be the first signing of the window. Hopefully not the fucking last. It won't be the last. Let's see if Milenkovic... never mind, you know. I'm just happy we got one. Because it's been a couple weeks and I tell you what, it was looking like we weren't going to sign anyone in the end. But, yeah. He's probably going to be our starting cam. And we'll move Fornals out wide. Yeah. Right guys, thank you so much for watching this first episode. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.